What is up, everybody? So I was mulling this question over that I'm sure that you guys are wondering all the time. And it is, why is it that these other coaches, consultants who may have less expertise than yourself or less experience, why their waiting lists are full, why they're bringing in clients left and right, while you're left struggling to fill your calendar? So that's what we're going to go over today, because most coaches actually they blame their maybe they blame their pricing, and they're fighting with their competition over the pricing, and that's just going to give you a price war down to the bottom. You become a commodity at that point, and that defeats the purpose. The real problem is hiding in plain sight. Maybe it's that you believe that it's your sales skills that you're having the reason why you're not filling your calendars. You're dealing with those kind of sleazy sales tactics, and you got to maneuver the sales calls, and it's like a dance back and forth on the sales call. A lot of people blame their marketing. If I only said this thing the right way, then I would get more clients, and they're doing it better than I am. 87% of service-based entrepreneurs are making this single mistake that we're going to go over today. Even no matter the amazing transformations, they're not going to sell if you're missing some of these key pieces. And if you can fix it, you can double your conversion rates almost overnight. That's going to 2x your conversion rate almost overnight. And so something that I want you to keep in mind with this that we're going to be talking about is that your brain, it's programmed to reject what it can't clearly visualize. So if your brain is rejecting what it can't visualize, then your clients' brains, they're working the same exact way. Abstract offers are going to create that immediate mental resistance. There's going to be a block through you and your customers. It's going to trigger skepticism. If you're just using very vague terms, I'll help you grow your business, that is very vague, and it's going to trigger that sales resistance. Versus if you say something like, I will help generate 3 to 4 qualified leads in 30 days without you lifting a finger. It's very specific. You can visualize that that's what I'm going to be delivering. Concrete offers activate that sensory piece in the brain where you can start to visualize yourself and feel yourself in the shoes of that end result. It even works with one-on-one coaching where you're able to be like, okay, on the call, we're going to help you in Zoom, and we're going to help you overcome your biggest bottleneck. Get back to my trusty bottle here. Many programs and courses fail when they're too conceptual and it's just very broad. We need to be specific when it comes to creating your offers and your bundles and your programs. Abstraction is just extremely confusing, and in reality, it's expensive and it's costing you. And this is what it's costing you right now. It's costing you lower conversion rates. Despite maybe you do have good sales calls, maybe you do have some good sales techniques, and you're not blaming that dance that you have to do on sales calls. It's costing you higher refund rates because your expectations were not set from the beginning, and they just were, it was all like willy-nilly. it's going to increase your marketing costs are going to go up because there's lack of conversion there. It's going to have a poor conversion rate. So your cost is going to go up. You're going to waste your time because you're constantly needing to iterate on your sales pages because it's that marketing. What's working? What variable to change? The emotional toll of rejection that you're going to get from people saying no all the time. It's going to lead to burnout. Telling you, I've been there. It is hard work to overcome these things. I want you to have hope because your expertise is already extremely valuable. You are unique. You have something that people are willing to give you money for, and it's extremely valuable. We just need to figure out how best to translate it into the right language that your clients can point at, not just visually, but mentally. They need to have that tangibility, that something that they can grab onto and paint themselves in a clear picture of that end outcome. They've got that painting. They're here in their little mind. Don't even tell me. My pen died. In their little mind, they can see themselves reaching to that point, and you got your paintbrush here, and they're painting a little picture. Oh, you can't see. Hold on, guys. And my pen is back. So it's so important that we're specific because it creates that immediate understanding. Like, for example, if I went up to the street and said, give me $10,000 and I'll give you this phone. Even though we live in the 21st century and phones don't look like this anymore, you're going to be like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. But if I went up to you on the street and said, give me 10K and I'll give you a brand new Lamborghini. That's my kind of picture of a Lamborghini. You're going to figure out a way to come up with that $10,000 because that value is there. The perceived value is so much greater, and you can see yourself in that car. There's a measurable outcome, which is going to remove any sort of buying hesitation. And then the last thing, this a little different from this example, but when you're creating your offers, that one is the highlight of a value, but you want to also touch on the pain points. If, for example, I went into a doctor's office and was like, hey, I got this splinter, I need to get it out, you may have to wait in the waiting room a little bit and whatnot. But if you go in and you've got a knife sticking out of your back and you're bleeding all over the floor and it's, hey, I need to get this knife out of my back, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to take faster action to remove that knife from your back so you don't die. Same thing. If we can touch on that same pain, it's going to completely remove the buying hesitation. And so I want to touch on our clarity-driven influence launch framework, which is the exact 3-part framework that transforms invisible expertise into irresistible offers. So the first piece that we go through is the message and offer lock-in, where we really work to crystallize your transformative process, and we really help to create that influence asset that it's going to pre-sell people before they get to that point. So you're already starting to nurture them. Then we develop the language around, like I was just talking about, how we help develop that language that is going to create that clear mental picture, like before and after kind of state. The second thing that we're going to go through, which is super important to do in this whole process, is the system build and lead flow activation. So we want to create clear pathways to the happy customer. This is going to really help highlight the value. We want to build a clear demonstration, basically putting that Lamborghini on the road to demonstrate your methodology, establishing any proof points and verified outcomes, developing the visible system with your eyeballs so that they can see what is going on. And then the third piece is the influence, launch, and lead conversion, where we actually show the transformation that is happening in your offer and help create this document that actually demonstrates the results with specificity. It creates that urgency. People want to go and they want to buy. And then that's really going to help convert that interest into enrollment through your clarity. So let me show you what happens when you transform abstract concepts into just point at offers. For example, if you were a fitness coach, transformation from health optimization to specific outcomes. Another example could be a business coach transformation, where you go from vague promises to actual real concrete results. It works with mindset coaches, where we help build the transformation from concept to tangible benefits. The specific conversion increases with each example. So we want to make sure that we're dialing this in and getting clear language. It works for all different industries. I've used this exact process across multiple different industries. And as long as you are following these concepts of the 3 steps, it paints that picture and it becomes that Lamborghini that people will find the money to sign up with your business. The marketplace is only getting more crowded, and it's why your clarity is your unfair advantage. It just takes it to the next level. And attention spans are shrinking. They're becoming the size of a goldfish. People's attention spans they're so small today, and so it needs to be crystal clear what you're delivering. There can't be any more of this. Is this what this is? Or it's so important that we are clear. And competitors, they're growing in every different niche. Like these different, what used to be blue oceans are now becoming saturated. But the thing is, when you have that right language, it's going to cut through all of that, because the Lamborghini example, it doesn't matter how many car salesmen out there, if you came up and was like, give me $10,000 and I'll give you this Lamborghini, you're going to buy it. And so being able to create those patterns similar to get people triggered in their mind to say yes, it goes a long way. And so you really have 2 options right now. You can take all this information, start working on your offers, really laying out your 3-step process, having clear calls to action with clear painted roadmaps of deliverability so they can visualize, and you're triggering those mental spots. Take all this information that I gave with you today, go try it on your own and start signing clients. Can't necessarily guarantee that you're going to be able to dial in the best language. It's going to make those triggers. Or option number 2 is you can go ahead and book a call with me, and we'll go over the exact roadmap on how to create our clarity driven influence launch so that you can start creating offers and ramping up your offer game, because it's no longer just about the marketing and the sales and the pricing and all this stuff. You level up as a coach and a consultant by getting into the offer game. And when you can create those, you're going to be filling up your calendar. You're going to be bringing in sales on the daily. And so if you want to start bringing in sales on the daily, go ahead and book a call, and I look forward to seeing you on the call. Have a blessed day.